Hello everyone. In this video I will be talking about the difference between a group and editable poly. I noticed that a lot of students are confused when they download some blocks and they insert them to 3D Max and they want to modify them. So first of all, let's talk about grouping objects. So let's say I want to group all these spheres. So I can, instead of every time selecting them, I can just select them one time and then go to group and then I can name them, for example, spheres. So this is one group. So if you go here to modify, or sorry, if you go here to modify, you will see that this is the group name here. Okay, so now when I select them, they are all one group. Okay, and let's say I will group the cylinders as well together. So I will select them all, go to group and group, and then change this name to cylinders. And I'll do the same thing for boxes. So I'll select them all and go to group and then boxes. So now we have three groups. If I select them all, what will happen? It will say three groups selected. And when I select any object, okay, if you have a chair, for example, or a table or anything, when you select it, you will see here that it's bold. Okay, it's written in bold font. So if it's bold, it means two things. One, the first thing is that this is a group. If the name here is bold, if I select this box, for example, it will be normal. Okay, the other thing is if I have an instance copy, okay, it will be bold, but it will be here, it will not be up here. Okay, so this is something just to help you know what the object is, or if it's instance or not from here. Okay, so now you can see that this is a group. So okay, this next what we want to do is now I forgot to add this box here. So what I will do is I will just select this box, go to group and then attach, and then I can select this one. So now they are all inside the group. Okay, so group and attach. The other thing we can do is, for example, let's say I want to ungroup them. So I can go to group and ungroup. This will delete the group that we have. Okay, so it will be deleted. Now they are all one separate objects. The other thing that you can do in a group, for example, I want to delete this one, but I don't want to select them all again and then change them all again. So what I will do is I will go to group and open. This will open your group. Okay, you can move objects, you can modify them, you can add edit poly to them, you can delete, you can do whatever you want. Okay, so let's say I will add edit poly here. Let's say I will move these up and then close it. So I'm done with whatever I want to do. You can select anything inside the group, or you can select this border. Both are fine. Then you will go here to group and close. So now it's all closed. Okay, so this is a good way to modify objects inside the group without having to group them all or select them all again to group them, especially if you have small or tiny details in your objects. Okay, so we've talked about group, ungroup, and open and close. We have open recursively as well. Sometimes, let's say I have this group and then I have this group, I will group them again. Okay, and I have this one. So I will select them all and group them all again. Okay, so this is all one group inside my my scene. So for example, let me just select those for a minute and show you the scene that I have here, which is yeah, this one. Okay, so here in the scene itself, what I did is I selected this chair. It contains multiple objects. So for the chair itself, it has the back, it has the front and the handles on the side and the legs and everything. So I grouped them all, but then I selected this chair and copied it or use array, and then I group the whole thing again. Okay, so usually you will need to do group inside a group. Okay, so in this case, if you want to open the group, so let's say now in the case that we had earlier, okay, so I already have these objects as a group, and then inside this I have multiple groups. If I want to modify this one for now, you can go to group and open. Then you can select this group and then go to group and open, and sometimes you'll have 5, 6 groups inside each others. Okay, so instead of opening them all, you can go to group and then open recursively. So it will open all the groups, even the ones inside the group that you want to open now. So you can see that all the groups are open now. I can select this, do whatever I want to do with it, and then go to group and close. Okay, so it would be closed now, all of them together. So this is about group. We've talked about attach. About detach, again, it's the same concept, but instead of attaching, let's say I want to remove this one from the group, I will go here and click on detach. Okay, so now I will close this one, and now I have 2 different groups. Okay, so this is basically how you group things, how you ungroup them, attach, detach, open, or close. Okay, sometimes, for example, in this chair, when I select this chair, I go to group and open. Let's say this is a block that I downloaded. So when I go to group and open, there is nothing. All the options are closed. Why is this happening? Because when I select this chair, you can go here to modify, and you will see that this is not a group. This is an object. Okay, so this means that this is an editable poly. So for the editable poly, if you want to modify anything or if you want to remove anything from it, you need to go to editable poly here and change things. So if you don't want to mess up with mesh, smooth, and UVW or any modifier that you have, you can just right click on it and then click on collapse all. Click on yes. Now they are all one editable poly. So in this editable poly, what I will do is I can go here to element, or you can press 5 on your keyboard. Okay, so both are fine. Then, for example, I want to, let's say, remove this part. So I can remove it by clicking on delete. If I want to separate them, I can select these two and then I can go to detach. So detach will make them separate objects. So if I close editable poly now and go here, you will see that these are 2 separate objects. If I want to add them back again, I will go back to element and then click on attach and attach this object. So now it's back inside this editable poly. Okay, the same thing, for example, for this part. If I want to delete it, if I want to attach it, detach, all the parts, you can do the same thing for them. Okay, so this is editable poly. I have this object here, which is a group of objects, so I will group them. If I want to add them to editable poly, I need to make them all, or first of all, I need to, let me just select this. You can see that you have multiple objects. So first of all, you need to to ungroup them. Okay, so I will go to group, close, and then group and ungroup. Okay, group and ungroup. Always make sure, let me just select everything. Group, close, then group, ungroup, group, ungroup, until you reach nothing, else you don't have any groups inside. Now you can go again to attach and start attaching all the pieces. Okay, match material ID to materials, and then attach this one, the same thing, attach these until you're done with everything. So if you're done, that's it. You will close editable poly and you will have, I will not continue now, but now editable poly is closed, so you will have them all as one object. Okay, I don't recommend you attach everything to one editable poly. I prefer you use group, so you'd have control. You won't have any issues later on when you're working on your model. So just make it a group and then copy it, and you can open it anytime. You can change whatever you want at any time. So that's it. This is the difference between editable poly and group. If you have any questions, again, you can always contact me, and I will help you with whatever you need. Thank you very much for listening, and hope you all the best in your midterms tomorrow.